everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Today we're talking about the best Disney resort. I know, you're excited.
I'm Christina. I'm a traveler, a planner, and most importantly, a mom. I'm sharing my best tips to make traveling as a family a little less stressful. So put down your phone, pack your bags, and let's showcase the world.
The most exciting thing about the best Disney resort is there are 27 of them. I know, kind of a cop-out. They're all the best resort because there's only the best resort for your family. There is no best Disney resort. I have kind of an embarrassing story to kind of prove that point. So I went to Disney as a kid. I didn't get to go as often as a lot of my friends who were going once or twice a year. I know it sounds really silly because there are some people who never get to go to Disney, but I'm a little jealous of them that they got to go all the time. But when we went, my parents splurged and they were so excited that we got to stay at the best Disney resort, or what they thought was the best Disney resort. We stayed at the Grand Floridian and it was lovely. But we met up with some friends who were there at the same time at the Caribbean Beach Resort. I loved it. It was bright. It was fun. There was music. Everyone was so laid back. They were having so much fun. And at the Grand Floridian, there was a piano player and it was stuffy and it just wasn't a place you felt comfortable as a 8-year-old kid. Now, I would kill to be able to afford to stay at the Grand Floridian, but at the time, Caribbean Beach would have been the best choice for our family. So, when deciding on the best resort for you, there are definitely things to consider. The first one is your budget. I know we have to talk about it. Disney has categories for every budget: value, moderate, deluxe. If you want a little bit more information about those, check out my video explaining the different amenities at the categories. I will link to it here. The other thing to consider is your family size. Most standard rooms sleep 4. There are a few resorts where their standard rooms sleep 5. But if you are a party of larger than that, whether you need a suite or a villa or what have you, your choices are a little bit more restricted. Another thing you want to think about is your location. What park are you going to be spending most of your time in? Are you going for the Epcot Food and Wine Festival? If you're going for that, then you might want to stay at the Beach Club where you can just walk to Epcot. Or if you have a little one who needs to go back for naps and you're spending a lot of time at Magic Kingdom, the Contemporary is my favorite for that. Another thing to think about is how much time are you actually going to be spending at your resort? Is it worth the extra money for the extra amenities if you're not going to use them? If you are a family who loves the pool time, then you want to choose a resort with a great pool. Disney pools are definitely not created equal, so you're going to want to look into what has the best pool for your family. Another thing to consider, kind of lower on the list, but what are your family's interests? Some people love Fort Wilderness. It is so much like camping. But if you're not a camping family, it's not going to be your cup of tea. If you are on an adults-only trip, you might want to consider a convention resort. If you have a huge Toy Story fanatic, then you want to stay at the All-Star Movies, where they have pop icons that are larger than life of Woody and Buzz. Another thing that I like to ask people when deciding on the best resort for them is, do they have any bucket list travel destinations? I usually get a blank stare. What do you mean bucket list travel destinations? We're going to Disney World. Well, if you've always wanted to go to Bora Bora or go on an African safari, the Polynesian or the Animal Kingdom Lodge would be really, really good choices for you. So this is just a quick overview of the things that you want to consider. If you want more information on each of these things or what I recommend for families with young kids versus families with adults, check out my resort guide, choosing a best resort for your family guide. I will link to it below. just download it and it will walk you through all of the resorts and all of the things to consider. If you want a little bit more personal attention, head to my website, showcasetheworld.com, where I would be happy to provide a no obligation quote for you. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful, and I really hope that I inspired you to explore the world together.
Need help planning your next family vacation? Visit us at showcasetheworld.com to request a quote or schedule a free vacation consultation. Want more great travel tips? You'll find those there too.